All right, what's up, y'all? It is Will here with Schedule Fly, and I got Sean Degnan on the phone. Sean was actually in our second book, so we've known him for quite a while, and is up in Raleigh, North Carolina, has two places, Koan and Soka. And Sean, I appreciate you taking the time to do this today, my friend.
Well, thank you.
So what is your status with your two places? Are y'all doing anything right now, takeout, or are you just closed completely?
We are doing takeout. We've transitioned to also offer some grocery from some of our local vendors.
Oh, good. They have a different supply chain, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay, good deal. I'm glad y'all been able to do that.
Yeah, and we are offering delivery as well. So in an 8 to 10 mile radius from each restaurant, we're delivering not just, our regular takeout, but we're doing local grocery and also like meal kits that you can assemble at home.
How are you orchestrating the ordering process for that? Is that something people are doing on your websites, or?
Yeah, we used our partner Tabletop Media to kind of reconfigure the website into a store.
Okay.
And so you can go online, and our team's done a pretty good job of like taking pictures and posting them, so it looks like pretty legit. It's not quite your full grocery store, but it's more like kind of like a full service bodega. In fact, the one at Soka, we're calling the Soka Bodega.
Nice. I hear you. Oh, and a lot of it's probably, is it like milk and bread and things like that, or what are some of the main things you are selling? Meat, I guess?
Yeah, local milk, local eggs, making our own bread.
Nice, man. Dang, that sounds pretty good right now. Well, okay, well then congrats on being able to make that quick transition like that, and that's one of the great things about small business, independently owned businesses, is the ability to, when necessary, make what in this case would be a significant transition to the business model in a very short period of time. It's also the value of having a local partners like Tabletop Media there for your website. So really glad to hear that. What has it meant to business so far? I mean, are you, you've obviously lost the main source of the revenue of people coming in and stuff, but I'm sure these other channels have ramped up. So how are you doing in terms of your, just overall business that you've seen compared to, what you would have expected this time of year?
Well, it was Drew, our chef at Koan, that kind of developed the whole grocery idea and delivery idea, because he was getting calls from his local purveyors about how they were sitting on stuff, and things were going to go bad if they didn't have outlets for it. And so that kind of started the brainstorm of what could we offer people, local milk, local eggs, things like that. And then we just kind of added to the store over time, and it's definitely not business as normal. We're not, we'd be going into Easter, Mother's Day, graduation right now.
Yeah.
And that's not, we're not at those levels at all. But I would say that we're at almost 25% of our sales doing it this way, which is kind of crazy considering, how busy we would be. And we have really big restaurants that seat over 200 people. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, 25%'s something right now. We'll take it. Are you? Do you own either of your buildings, or are they both leased?
They're both leased. We have the option to purchase the one in Cary. But that's kind of off the table right now.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, the Soka. I mean, y'all were hit early with this, right? Wasn't there somebody? I mean, this was before there were even any rules or restrictions or anything in place.
Yeah, it was like the 1st of March. We won the lottery. We had the first gentleman with a case of COVID-19 eat at Soka on Saturday night when he got back from Washington State, and we were notified by CDC and DHHS, and we got a professional cleaning crew in, and we were only open for dinners at that point. So they came in and they cleaned from early in the morning till 4, and then I did it again the next day with a different company that did different things, that sterilized things. And so we weren't actually closed at Soka, but we were affected first. And we had some local restaurant support where people came in. I had friends come in and leave $1,000 tips for the staff because they knew that we were going to get hit first. And eventually it ended up affecting everyone, but it was a nice show of support right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, you said the first. I mean, it was literally like the first person, not just in the area, but in North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So, did you do the? Have you gone through the PPP application process?
I did. I did it for both restaurants, and I'm being told that we bank with BB&T. I'm being told that our application made it through BB&T's underwriting, and it's sitting on the SBA desk with a loan number. I don't know if that means that the funds have been reserved for us and they're coming now, or they're coming in the second round if that happens. So
yeah,
I'm kind of in the same boat as most people.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I was told that if you have a PLP number, that means you're going to get funds. But then I don't know that I necessarily think that's 100% accurate. Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. Exactly. You can't really rely on that stuff now or believe that. It's just nobody really knows. The whole thing's kind of a cluster. So, and not really designed extraordinarily well for restaurants, although that may change. But boy, it's been it's just sort of been a maelstrom of just daily information overload to the point that you're not even sure what's accurate and what's not. Okay.
And the people involved not knowing what's accurate.
Them not knowing, the bankers. Nobody knows. I wonder who does know. Nobody really does. Okay, so now Cohen, how long has Cohen been open?
We opened in November of last year.
November, okay, because that was what you opened after Red Hat didn't renew the lease at for Buku in downtown Raleigh. So Cohen's out there. Are you on the SAS campus or somewhere near there?
We're right across the street. It's in a building owned by SAS. But yes.
It's in a building owned by SAS.
It's where On used to be, On Cuisines.
Oh yeah,
Michael
okay.
King's first restaurant.
Yeah, my folks live there at Exit 287. My dad and stepmom live there. And good area, good landlord you got this time around.
Great, the best landlord.
Yeah, for sure.
They're taking care of us. They gave us a letter. One of the last things they did before they, stopped going to work across the street, they sent us a letter and told us not to worry about paying rent for 3 months, and that was really kind of them.
Wow. Well, you hope you'll start hearing more and more of that. I'm talking to owners around the country, and it just depends. It is so specific to each landlord and their philosophy, and quite frankly, their level of denial, I think, because what SAS went back, they went down and they said, okay, this is not just a little 1 month. This is going to impact people for a while. Let's be realistic. Let's have a long view of this. And I think that's a wise way to look at it because, playing hardball isn't really going to get you a whole lot right now. If you run off your tenant, you're not going to have anybody fill that spot for Lord knows how long. So I'm really glad to hear that that's the case for y'all. What are some, it's hard to really process this in the sense that we don't know when restrictions are going to let up. The time period kind of has been, it's been pushed back a few times. Even when it is let up, will people come back out like they used to? What restrictions will there be on the number of people you can have in your building? I mean, with all that, man, I'm just fascinated with asking people like yourself right now, how do you plan for this? The short term, there's one thing, and y'all have been able to adjust quickly and maintain some sense of, revenue, 25% at least. But what about 6 months from now, a year from now? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think we're fortunate in that we've been able to sustain some amount of business. It keeps us coming to work
Yeah.
every day, and it helps us, visualize together as a team what it might look like
Right.
in the future. I think that would be a lot harder if we were all in our separate homes, not not spending time together, talking this through. And certainly we don't know what the future will hold, but it probably is some combination of what we're doing now and what we were doing before. So I would expect, in fact, we've done some of these like grocery deliveries and things like that to the same households, 3 and 4 times now. So it would be weirder to just end that relationship at this point than it would be to, just go back to normal or whatever normal is when we get going again. Our pastry chef at Cohen, I think he said it best. He's got a great, beautiful accent, and he said they're not going to buy our zucchini anymore, but they probably will, buy his cookie dough, and his the things that are unique to us.
Yep.
I think that might be something that lasts longer. You might still be able to get a hot pot meal kit, to take to a hospital, or something like that. I don't see people coming back in, huge quantities right out of the gate. Like, I think when we first shut down, everyone, my good friend Niall at he said he was going to pour 300 shots of Jameson when this thing was all over. And I don't know that that's necessarily how we're going to, celebrate when this is over. I think it's going to be more like you'll feel lucky to go out with your significant other to celebrate your anniversary, just the two of you, or just to be able to go out. And I would think that sitting on a patio might be more comfortable for some versus sitting inside. And I mean, we're lucky to have giant restaurants, so it won't be that hard for us to pull the tables far apart and have less of them. But I don't know how you do it in like a one storefront with a bar in the way. Like that'll be tough,
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. Boy, I'd like to have one of those shots if he does pour them. But it's it is hard to know, and I can't imagine. I think you made a good point that being, at least you're there and planning. I mean, the isolation is tough psychologically, period, and then trying to plan for so much unknown would be even more challenging. So I'm glad you are able to do that. Your team, how is your staff managing through all this?
Well, we get together every Monday and talk about it, and talk about where we're at, and we give everyone kind of a free opportunity to, there are some people that right out of the gate wanted to go ahead and just file unemployment and not, they were either more concerned about their health risks or maybe who was at home. And so we went down from almost 100 employees to like 12 employees, in the very beginning. And then so the 12 of us get together and talk it through. And we, little by little, as this delivery and takeout has grown, we've been able to add some people back. Some of those people being people that didn't qualify for unemployment for whatever reason. They had another employer that didn't file correctly, or maybe they didn't make enough during that time period that they were looking at. So we brought some of the people back that didn't qualify for unemployment, and then everyone else, we were able to, somehow keep paying them what they were making, and we were open to discussing reductions in salaries, but we haven't had to do that yet, thank God.
Yeah. Good.
So basically, I held on to my top tier management and like culinary crew, and that's how we've sustained this past month. We're looking to, obviously, if the PPP money comes through, we would look to bring people back earlier and maybe add to the takeout and delivery.
Are y'all doing your own delivery, or are you using a third party?
We are.
Okay. Have you?
We are. I had already looked into the insurance for it. For valet parking, and so we were already paying that, and so doing a delivery within 8 to 10 miles, we're covered on insurance. And then I looked into the other options for delivery, and they're just very, very expensive. I'm sure that you've talked to people, some of these companies taking 30%.
30%. Yep. Yeah.
It's not a reasonable amount of money.
Well, it's great that y'all are able to do that, man. I mean, if you can do your own, that's a lot of money you're saving off the top, being able to do that. I mean, I'm sure that having the insurance obviously has an expense, but not 30% per order. So
no, and it gives our servers and
tips,
hostess and things, some pocket money.
Yeah, I bet people are tipping well right now.
We've had some really generous tips. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. I think people are. I've talked to a lot of folks on this podcast about this, man. I think people are really. This is an opportunity for people to stop. I mean, because we don't have a choice, to stop and slow down our lives and think about what we value and what's important, what's not important. I hear a lot of people really seem to be remembering how much they value their local independent restaurants. When you can't go there, you realize, man, I miss that place. I miss Cohen. I miss Soka. And I miss the various, people around the country are thinking that, and they value the hospitality and service and great, delicious food and drinks that y'all offer. And, it's good to be able to get it through takeout, but there's nothing like that experience of being served by folks like you and your team, Sean. So I think, people are. It's interesting because I think they will change their habits a lot, and you will be able to expand in the sense of some takeout and delivery and groceries and things like that. And then I think once people kind of get comfortable being out in public again, man, they're going to be thankful for a long time that they can go somewhere and sit and be served and, enjoy hospitality and not feel like they're having to be cooped up in their house and do this, on their own all the time. And independent restaurants are where they're going to go because they know that y'all are, that you're local. The money stays in the community. They know you. They care about you. And once this settles, I think it'll be a good thing, net all in for y'all, because you'll probably have a tighter run business in some ways and more revenue streams and things like that. And then just, fans and customers that really, really remember how much they appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah. And I think those things will come together over time. I mean, I think we also, we miss some of our fellow employees, being there every day. We miss our guests too. Certainly we're not getting FaceTime with some people that would come, a couple times a week. And I think we, one of the advantages of being still open to whatever degree is that you start to remember what people wanted from you, and it wasn't just food, it was experiences. And so we're starting to put together, we just put together our first brunch box at Kohan, so that you can kind of have a brunch at your home the way we would do it if you'd been with us for Easter or Mother's Day or whatever. We might do something like that for Cinco de Mayo at Soka, things for birthdays and anniversaries, because that's what people came to celebrate. And over time, I think that's what they want. We might be adding flowers and things as we get closer to Mother's Day, just because it's experience. It's not just sustenance, obviously.
100%, man. Well, look, necessity is the mother of all invention, they say, right? And right now it's necessary to be creative. And this is what's so great about this sucks. Let me, that's our foundation here. But within this, the silver linings are the creative process, the iterations, the trial and error, the necessity to get really thoughtful and creative with what we offer and why we offer it and how we offer it. And, so it's those that, the folks that make it through this are going to come out on the other side stronger and better. And, there'll be some won't, but one of the problems that y'all have had for a long time, y'all being your whole industry, people I talk to all over the country, has just been finding and keeping good people, and that's because everybody's been employed. I mean, there's been almost no unemployment, so unfortunately, in some ways, the less people are going to have jobs, and so you're going to have a better opportunity to find great people that really, really want to be a part of the team and be a part of the team for the right reasons and not just as a job. So a lot of good things will come out of this ultimately if we, with the short-term pain.
I agree. Yeah. And I think people in our industry who obviously do this for a lot more reasons than money, because there's just easier ways to make money.
Yep.
But I think that they've always seen every challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn and change. And so I don't think this is any different. For us, being able to do it in real time together as a team, I really look at as I just feel really fortunate that we're able to stay together right now to the level that we are. And I think, when other teams get back together, they'll have shared stories or, experiences that they'll bring back. And, we look forward to maybe having a whole wall on our, in our restaurants dedicated to, while we were apart. I think there's at least one painting or picture or whatever that everyone could add to it about our time apart and just kind of remember this time.
Ah, that's awesome. That's a really cool idea. I love this, man. I am getting so many great, positive, thoughtful ideas from you and your peers. Every conversation I have, and that's what we're really thankful to be able to do this because people are listening all over everywhere, all over the country to this kind of stuff right now, and it's part of it's a little bit cathartic, and part of it's just knowing everybody's dealing with the same stuff, and part of it's just coming up with ideas from each other. These are phenomenal ideas. So, well, look, man, I appreciate the time. I know everybody listening does, and we are proud to serve y'all at both your locations, and thankful for that opportunity, and thankful that that we have the opportunity to do this today, Sean. So just really appreciate you doing this, and you know where I am, of course, anytime. If I can do anything for you, brother, I'm around. Thank you very much. Well, appreciate what you do too. Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, y'all take care. Tell everybody hey, and when this is done, I can promise you the next time I'm up to see Dad and Nancy, we're coming to Coan, man, for sure, no doubt about it. All right, brother. Take care. See you. Talk to you soon. All right, bye.